Hi guys, welcome back. So if you watched my previous video concerning how you can break down the 66 books and make it very easy for you to flow with knowing the stories, then you're in the right place because now we're talking about understanding the stories that you've read and you now know. So what is the Bible really talking about? What's the central theme of this holy book, this prophetic book? And how do I bring it into my context, into my day, into my time? So I'm going to give you five steps on how you can bring this thing into your context, into your day, into your time, and understand the mind of Jesus perfectly in your day and time, marrying their history with your day. So the first thing is historical context. You must understand the Bible within the context it was written. It was dated in history, first century, that's when the New Testament was captured. And then the Old Testament was way beyond the first century. And we are into the first century. So you can imagine how long it has been. So you can't definitely understand things based on their context. You will have to bring it home to you so that you derive understanding from, okay, how does it affect me? How does it relate to me? Do you understand? If the Bible was written for us, how does this thing that they're saying that dates back and it's not the way we practice life again, how can it relate to me? So yeah, the first one, like I said, is historical context. So now I want to use this example of Matthew chapter 5, verse 39, where Jesus was saying that if someone slaps you, turn the other side, and then land you another one again, like bass boost. I'm sure the other they don't understand what bass boost is, but that's what Jesus was trying to say. Like, let them give you bass boost. But a lot of us run with this without going back into history to understand why Jesus would make such a comment. So does it mean that if someone is bullying me, I should stay bullied? Or does it mean if someone is humiliating me, I should stay humiliated? I should not attack? Because a lot of people have preached this thing literally without dating back to the history to find out why Jesus said what he said. And then they use the scriptures like vengeance is of the Lord and he will avenge us. Some people have died because of people maltreated them to death and they refuse to do anything because vengeance is of the Lord. Well, sorry to burst your bubbles because I went back into history to find out why Jesus said what he said. But before I begin to explain Matthew 39, we need to understand the flow of thought here. This is Jesus' first sermon in Matthew chapter 5. You get, it's the first time he's coming out to ever preach something, and he's coming to address the heart posture of people. Do you get? So normally they oppressed by the legal system of Moses. Moses gave them laws. So any small thing, they don't slap you with lawsuits. You that you are going you have a lawsuit to defend. So this is Jesus trying to say that this thing that Moses gave you, it's more of a heart thing. Do you understand? It was supposed to be to guide you because it's more of a heart posture thing. So Jesus was addressing the root cause of issues, why it escalates quickly. Do you understand? And if you are in charge of your heart, many issues will not escalate into things that, bring about some great lawsuits or something. Okay, let me explain. Now, before Jesus got to slapping and turning the other side, the flow of thought was Jesus was first of all talking about blessed attitudes. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. He first listed a lot of blessed attitudes, like we call them today in Christendom, right? Then, before he now gets to the slapping side, he now starts addressing, redefining righteousness at the heart level. He starts with, first of all, you have heard, do not murder. That is in the law. But Jesus is addressing the root cause of murder. And he says that the root cause of murder is anger. So if you're angry at somebody to the point that you take the anger into the next day, you are capable of killing. You are capable of murder because you have given the devil an inroad to take hold of that anger and bring thoughts of murdering somebody, murdering that person in your heart. Do you understand? So the second thing was when he talked about lust. He said, you have heard, do not commit adultery. Jesus now addresses the root cause. He said the root cause of adultery is lust. The Bible says that a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you lust after somebody, it's only a matter of time for you to get in room for that thing to manifest. Do you get? If you have already imagined this person in bed with you, that is you lost it. Do you get? So it's only a matter of time before he will now get in bed with that person. So Jesus is addressing the root cause is lost. The third one was divorce. He critiques and the dismissal of women on flimsy excuse. Somebody can just wake up one morning and say, I suspect in those their that this woman is not, and they have put her off. And Jesus had to say, the reason for which you will divorce is if there is sexual immorality in the marriage, because that has broken you people's vows. So you cannot just up and check out on flimsy excuse. It has to make sense. Before you decided to make a commitment, you said for better, for worse, for rich, for poor. And then you now wake up one morning and say, it's not working out. Now, do you think it's a dating thing? You guys are married, for God's sake. You figure out a way for it to work out. So that was what Jesus was addressing. Don't let your wife go, because women are at a disadvantage in this time, in this era. So they don't even have the choice to leave. It's men that leave it. So Jesus was addressing men and saying that don't just dismiss your wife on grounds of nothing. It has to be something really serious for which you would leave your wife. Serious, like sexual immorality. And then we have the fourth one, oaths. And he says, you have heard that don't break oaths, but let your yes be yes and let your no be no. For God's sake, don't no need to lie to anybody. If you can't fulfill a promise, don't promise. If you know you can uphold your end of the bargain, don't promise at all. Don't promise at all. That is yet letting your yes be yes and your no be no. If you didn't dare, you tell the person you didn't dare, bro, I can't help you. I cannot. Now, drum roll to the point that we've been waiting for, which is the fifth one, retaliation based on Matthew 5:38 to 42. You have heard an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, which meant the punishment must not exceed the offense that is based on the law of Moses. So now Jesus was giving four examples as to this retaliation system and how you can set boundaries instead of retaliation. So which brings me to the first example, which was the first thing I mentioned. When someone slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other side for them. And now the right cheek slap, what it meant was most people are right-handed. So if they slap you on your right cheek, it meant they gave you a backhand slap. And a backhand slap in those days meant humiliation. It was about masters hitting their slaves. It was about Roman hitting Jews. And it was about men who are socially, their social class is high, hitting people that are inferior. So it was a way of saying you are beneath me. You know, that's how it is. So if you turn the left, the aggressor must either hit you with open palm, that's equal to equal strike, or use the left hand, which is unclean in Jewish culture. So you're forcing them into an awkward social position. That means you're saying you cannot humiliate me. I refuse to play the inferior role. And that means you are not enabling their abuse. Okay, let me bring it home. Maybe you have a friend and um you share whenever you share your wins with the person is always about let's see how long it lasts. Let's see how long it lasts. You know, like you are beneath them. Like you can't really do good. If it's their own now, they want you to clap, they want you to, oh my god, you're such a genius, you're amazing. But if it's your own, they're like, congratulations, let's see how long it will last. Like you're beneath me, you're not supposed to be, you know, making wins like me. I could. I'm still a work in progress, but how Jesus wants you to operate in such a situation is that you have to respond politely in this manner by saying, I'm excited about it. At least I tried and there's progress being made in my life. And then based on the fact that you have noted that this person is a piece of shit, that person doesn't have to be on the front row of your victories. You have to check that person to the back. You have to shift that person, because if all they have to say every time you make a win is how let's see how long it lasts, like you don't deserve to make progress in life, then you need to readjust the chairs, let them go back. But you just respond politely. At least it's progress. It's me working. It's a work in progress, and I'm very excited about my progress because you're not in competition with anybody, anyways. So yeah, that's how God will have you respond. That's what it means, you know, turn the right cheek. So you restore your dignity and check the person out of your space, set boundaries. You know, the person will no longer have direct access to you to be able to talk you down on your success or make your success mean nothing to you. You know, you've told the person that I'm happy about my success, it's my success. But you also use your action to show the person that by moving the person out of your space, to show the person that you don't deserve to be close to me. So you will go outside. We'll be relating from outside. Yeah, yeah, eh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, Baweria in my language. Anyway, so yeah, you must restore your dignity by setting your boundaries to make sure that your dignity is intact. For if they ask you to go a mile, go an extra mile with them. The thing is, if anyone forces you to go a mile with him, it's actually a political thing, because then Roman soldiers had legal rights to force civilians to carry their equipment for 1 mile. So a Roman soldier can grab you randomly and say, carry this humiliating power flex, but the Roman law limited to just 1 mile. So Jesus says, go 2. So this is powerful because the soldier becomes nervous. If you go beyond 1 mile, he could get in trouble, and you just flipped the power dynamic. So he could be punished for making you go 2 miles. Now, in order to bring this home, you know this, you have this friend, they are this emotional dump kind of friend. Like anytime they need your help, that's when they're around you. This one, financially, mentally, emotionally, blah, blah, blah. You keep going extra mile for them, doing the extra things for them. But when you need their help, they are unavailable. Do you understand? So you have to set a boundary. And the boundary is you will cut off excess availability. That's meaning then you cut it off. Yeah, because in turn, this person is not going to do the same for you. So instead of you to leave yourself feeling emotionally drained by this person, expectations built up and being shattered every single time, you just cut that access availability for that person. So if the person comes, oh, hey, yeah, I'm so sorry. I hope you're able to sort it out, but I don't think I'm available at the moment to help you out. I'm so sorry. I hope you can sort out your issues. By the time you do it once, twice, three times to them, do you understand? And genuinely, if you want to help, you just help out. If it's something that is really, really big and you genuinely want to help, you help out. But in order to reduce that circle of the person always coming and all like you're flipping that, like the person is just a pawn in the person's hands where they can play you like chess. Do you understand? You flip that access. You don't have access to me, so you can't just, and anytime you want something, you just come and then when I need you, you are nowhere to be found. You won't have access to me. The person will use that tongue account get it that, oh, lots of things have changed though. This person used to be this particular kind of way, but it looks like I don't have that kind of access as I used to before. So, wow, they will rest. All of us will be fine. They will be okay. So, what again is Jesus talking about? Setting boundaries. Setting what? Boundaries. Now, for the cloak matter, the cloak is that they want to sue you for your tunic. Now, let's read it. A cloak couldn't be permanently taken because it functioned as your blanket at night. So, if someone sues you for your tunic, they are exploiting your poverty, according to Exodus 22:26-27. So, Jesus is saying, give them your cloak. And that this is because in the culture, giving both your tunic and your cloak to leave you standing naked in court. And in Jewish culture, nakedness brought shame. So not only did the nakedness bring shame upon you, but also on the one who is causing it because they are trying to publicly humiliate you. So what you are doing is you're revealing the greed of the oppressor. Now, this is it. Let's bring this thing to our day and time. You make money. When you were suffering, calling uncles and aunties and asking, okay, please, can you help me? Not out of entitlement, but from a place of, genuine need. You needed to actually, and you were begging, like, please, and all of that. Help me. All of them turned their backs on you. Nobody helped you. This one, that one. And suddenly, God blesses you. You hit it big. The mindset is, you will suffer. And God helps you. You become this big person. You have money and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Now, all of a sudden, this uncle is calling you, oh, my business is failing. Obi, I know you have the money. What I want is 15 million. This one is telling you, my child is in the hospital. And they're not asking you as per, please, could you assist me? They're asking with entitlement, like you owe them. People that you asked for help before that did not help you. Now they're not asking like you owe them money to give them money. Hey, that's oppression. They want to take your cloak too. Do you understand? So the response God was saying you should give is your money does not control you, obviously, and you don't respond with wickedness. You don't respond with retaliation, but with boundary settings. So what you can do in situations like that is you only help things that align with your vision and your values. If someone's life is at stake, of course, you should be willing to help, regardless of your bad character before. Your child's life is in danger, I would help you. Now, if I am to fund your business, do you understand? You will sign a contract. I will not just dash you money. Because, sometimes most of these family members are like anchors that will bring you down. Once they know it's your money, they are very lackluster about it. They will not give to the business the things that they ought to. Do you understand? They will squander it because you have more money coming. So in order for you to not be drained, you have to go with it legally. I will give you this. This is my return on investment. I will invest in you as an investor, and this is my return on investment. We'll sign on paper. You lose this money, you will pay. If I manage to let you off the hook of not paying, I will never invest in your business. Yes, that is how it will be. You are set the boundary. So I will help based on the things that I find that are valuable. But so long as these are flimsy things that you're calling me for with entitlement, yeah, like Yoruba people will say, so you're weary. I will not also allow myself to be drained by you. Be drained by these people who could care less. The only reason why they are calling me now is because I have money and they still want to oppress me. They oppressed me when I didn't have money by not even helping me. And now that I have money, they want to still oppress me and use entitlement and collect my money. Bomb to your head. So, and I'm still a work in progress. As I even talk myself, I'm even getting angry, but I have to smile while doing it because the Lord is working in me to not retaliate the way He said we shouldn't. So what I will do is, like I said, What Jesus wants you to do is set boundaries. While you're setting the boundaries of these things, that okay, I will help only what aligns with my value. If it's someone's life, I'm willing to help. If it's business, then we have to strike um agreements on that business, on what it should be and what it shouldn't. Okay, that's how it's going to work. Now, the final example he gave was on giving. He said, if they ask you, anyone asks you to give, borrow to the lender. Now, in an honor and shame culture, refusing someone in need publicly means you humiliated them. So Jesus is teaching radical generosity, not because people won't exploit you, but because greed and stinginess comes from fear and ego. And he's saying, don't let fear of loss control you. So those times what they did was selective giving. They only give to people who they know will give them back, or borrow people who they know can pay back. So in order to bring this particular one home now, what you do is if you have a chronic borrower friend and you know that they don't pay back because you are tied with once, don't ever borrow that person money again. The shift here is you gift the person instead what you know you can let go. Now the person comes to you and say, oh, I beg, I'm in that I need 50K. And you know that if we're better 50K, they will never pay you back. You go talk, spit go finish for your mouth. What you just do is that you have 10K that you can spare, or you have 20K that you can spare. You tell the person that, nah, I'm not borrowing you, but I have 20K I can dash you. Don't worry, you don't have to pay back. You dash the person 20K, they can find the remaining 30K to solve their problem. Or if you don't have at all, you say, at this point, I don't have to give you. Do you understand? So that you are able to curb this flow. Even the same thing with giving beggars on the streets. You understand? Me, I've been exploited many times. This one has happened to me because I'm that kind of person. I'm a giver like that. I met one woman on my way to work one time and she used her child to come and meet me. And I had compassion on the little girl. Oh, I've not eaten along, but and I gave her the money that was supposed to be my transport coming back from work. So I had to go and withdraw again. So I just said, okay, you have it to eat because hunger is not for a child to be hungry. I will not watch that and I have money to give you and I will not give you. I gave her. And you know that I went to work and came back and they were still in that position, begging. And they were about to beg me again. That is now, it's an occupation. It's not like these people beg for a living. I was so pained. I was so pained. But anyways, I let it go. I was like, shit like this happened. It has happened to me not once, not twice. One guy like that I met in this Abuja. He's part of the beggars that greeted me. Welcome. Hi. The guy they beg for Africa. Like you come and tell you, oh, I have to be at this thing. Chabi, my work is so. I gave him transport one day. He said, thank you very much. I noticed that is how every time they have not paid him salary, I saw him again in a bus. It was that is a rehearsed line, the exact same storyline. Oh, they have not paid me salary. Da, 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 da. And he came to, because that's what's in my face, he came to me again. I thought, if you know, because I'm still working on retaliation. So I told him, if you don't get out of my sight, what I would do, because I was pained about the fact that you are exploiting people that are giving you, and it's then dents the givers, and they don't want to actually help genuine people. So I'm still learning, obviously, and I know that I didn't speak to him well. I should have just told him, no, I don't have money to give you. You get, but I want everybody to know that he's a fraud. That's why I spoke the way I spoke. But it did stop me from giving because still I've met people who genuinely are in need of it. In fact, the ones that they say food, I even changed it at some point. If you say you're hungry, I will take you to where and take what you like, I'll pay. And that's how I do. If you say it's food you want, if you say it's transport you want, you can just directly pay the driver and say, okay, take this person to wherever they're going. I think that's how you can even catch all these fraudulent people and all that. But it should not stop you from giving, because people will exploit you, but you still have to do good. You still have to stay true to your generosity, because a man's life does not consist of what he has. So no fear of loss. I've lost before plenty times leading people. I knew that they were. I later discovered that they were fraudsters, but it didn't stop me from giving. You have to consider the life of generosity. So that's what Jesus is saying. I think Pastor has also even given this thing. You should also have a budget, your generosity, maybe budget for the month. For this month, this is the amount I'm going to give. I'm going to give so amount. Maybe you brought in your salary, you're earning 100K and you devote 20K for generosity. So once that 20K is exhausted, so that you're not financially reckless in terms of giving, once 20K is exhausted, till next month again before you can resume giving. Because me, I will not give you now and now not have anything and now be begging to. It don't make any sense. So you have to be wise also in your giving. So you can set a budget that every month I'll be giving 20K out as generosity, people that are in need, that probably hungry or something, my way of helping them, my way of helping humanity. You know, that's what Jesus was saying. Set boundaries in the things that you did. So in the entire 4 examples that Jesus gave on an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, which meant give punishment according to the offense, what Jesus was addressing was, instead of retaliation, which is cause harm to the person as they have caused harm to you, which is what many people were doing, He addressed it that set boundaries instead and check out of that retaliation cycle. So you are revenging, this one will revenge back, this you will not revenge. Like an unending circle. You now become bitter people moving around. Do you understand? You're bitter. And I think even Pastor Dolakwa has spoken about this before. Because you have not healed from what another person did to you, you now carry it to another fresh relationship and make somebody that has no idea of what happened in the past suffer for what he does not know. So do you see now how that it affects you generally? It's not even the person you're doing that it affects. It is you at the end of the day that it affects. When you enter retaliation, you enter harming circle. Okay, you harm me, I harm you back, you harm me. You become a bitter person. And then even when people love you genuinely, you are just too bitter. You make their own life bitter. God. So that's what Jesus was trying to protect. Stop that retaliation principle and enter boundary setting principles. If someone talks to you in a way you don't like, set boundaries. Tell the person. If you tell the person once, tell the person twice, like her, check them out of your circle. Let them be like Pluto in the galaxies. Do you get? It's not all the planets that are close to sun. Some are very far. Let them be as far as Pluto, so they can never have access to you to speak to you in a way that you don't like, or in your circle to do things that you don't fancy. That's why WhatsApp also brought that block button. Anybody talking rubbish in your DM, you go there, you block and you delete. So Jesus is saying, instead of you to play their useless game, their game of madness, you check out of that madness and set a boundary, separating you from that person. That's what Jesus was saying. He did not say, allow yourself to be oppressed. So it's quite unfortunate that a lot of us around without checking the historical context. Is the reason why I took these examples, took us through this flow, so that we will understand the historical context and what Jesus was actually talking about. Jesus was talking about addressing the heart issue. Do you understand? Addressing the heart issue and then setting boundaries in life. There is dignity, even though no matter the level where you are, there is dignity. You have dignity. There's dignity in as a person, as a human being. Protect your dignity, set boundaries for yourself. Don't allow anybody to make you a pushover. That's what Jesus was saying. Do you understand? Don't be vengeful. So that's where you now say, where you now understand is when you now say vengeance is of the Lord. But me, I've set boundary first. But you see, this is your wicked behavior. Nemesis will catch up with you because karma is real. That's where the vengeance of the Lord comes to play. But does not mean that I will allow myself to be humiliated every single time by you. Never. So I hope we got this and I hope it blessed you. And another thing is, I will take us on the other steps of it because this is already quite long. I want to break it. This is part 1. Historical context, very important.